over on Rumble, of course. I do see that about 200 people are waiting, so no problem. We've got multiple news stories to cover today. We will be talking, I guess, about 420 because the first super chat came through. Yeah, there's several things to celebrate on 420. It depends sort of on your political proclivities. If you're on the left wing, it's probably, you smoke weed. Some people on the authoritarian right, they're celebrating Hitler's birthday. So we'll talk about that. Ramon C. GTC, happy 420 Eve. Don't forget to blaze it. Yeah, I mean, I would, but I can't. It's really funny. I'm in one of the first states in the United States, in Vermont, where they first legalized marijuana. And then I come over literally to the Netherlands, where marijuana has always been legal anyway. And I can't even smoke it because, I had an overdose years ago. I had anhedonia for a long time. The one time that I did take a good hoot off of a bong, some time ago, it didn't go very well. My receptors are blown, so I can't use marijuana, unfortunately. Calorie-free happiness, basically. Israel has carried out a strike in Iran. We'll be talking about that. And I'm actually thankful. The limitations of the strike that they carried out appear to be in line with what I was hoping, which is, hey, please don't start World War III and waste, millions of lives trying to pound the Iranians. It appears that they did show restraint. I have to give Netanyahu credit for that, actually. Under the circumstances, he deserves perhaps more credit than a lot of people are giving him, actually. We've got the Eric Ciaramella whistleblower. The whistleblower who sparked Donald Trump's first impeachment was deeply involved in the political maneuverings behind Biden family business schemes in Ukraine that Trump wanted probed. Newly obtained emails from former Vice President Joe Biden's office reveal. I remember a time, this was, several years ago. You remember when Eric Ciaramella first was sort of on the set in the news? And YouTube and other sites would ban you if you even talked about the issue. Well, there seems to be a reason for that. And thankfully, now we're allowed to talk frankly about the subject. So we'll talk about that as well. We've got Bernie Sanders selling out. Yes, I will do my Bernie Sanders impression. People like it a lot. It's much better than my impression of other politicians. One and done. Scientists develop a vaccine that may fight any viral strain. This is both concerning, and we have to watch our language because this is on YouTube as well. It's both concerning but also exciting at the same time. I happen to be pro-vaccine, depending on the vaccine, of course. Honk, honk, I will say no more. And so we'll talk about that. And also a little bit of nuance with regards to DeSantis' very well-intentioned, but potentially backlash-ridden bill with regards to K through 12 students learning about the atrocities of communism. I support the ideological bent of it. Of course, every student should know, hey, communism did kill 100 million people over the last century. They should know that. They should be taught about it. But do you really want a teacher telling them that? Because teachers tend to be lame. Other than the teachers you want to fuck, of course. And we'll talk about that as well. We're going to talk about I'm hot for teacher. Mike the Wop. Hi, Tarl. We are all doomed to rock with a molten center hurling through space around a dying sun for no apparent reason. Yeah, but I do believe in a continuation after death. Like if I drop dead right now, don't cry for me, Argentina. Everything will be perfectly fine. Sassmaster531 sent $9.99. No comment. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're going to be rambling a little bit probably today. It's Friday, TGIF. I don't have to stream tomorrow. Fen Glord. Donald Trump, the president who's competent to stand trial. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that is a funny thing because it was literally found by Ben-Hur's investigation that Joe Biden was not competent to stand trial. He can't remember what the hell he's talking about. He has no clue where he is, so we can't put him on trial. But he's still the president of the United States. How wonderful for us, by the way. I'm sure that he will do a very, very good job, as he has done so far. But we'll be talking about various news topics. First and foremost, though, Israel has carried out a strike against Iran, according to U.S. officials. And I'm very thankful, actually. I applaud the Israelis for showing restraint, because this is what I had argued for the last couple of days. Iran targeted Israel because they attacked the consulate in Damascus, actually in Syria, on third-party soil. And my worry was that they were going to haul off and, if not nuke Iran, at the very least, like debilitate them or something like that. It would lead to a regional war. You'd have thousands of drones coming over from Iran. You'd have, fighters in the air on both sides, sorties and all of this crazy shit, and all hell would break loose. Thankfully, it looks like Netanyahu understood exactly the situation, and he took the exit door, which is what I had warned probably should happen, which is Iran attacked you, so you have to respond. You don't have really a choice at that point. It's the first time that this actually happened. You have no choice but to respond. But the actual attack by the Iranians on Israel was relatively limited. Yeah, it was a lot of missiles and a lot of drones and stuff, but you shot down 99% of them. There were no casualties. No humans died, and you got to show off your toys that make the noise. My advice was, therefore, bomb an empty airbase or something like that. Basically, call up the Iranians beforehand and tell them, look, I mean, we have to respond, because otherwise I'm going to get forced out. So I am going to bomb you. But, you've got this base here that really is derelict anyway. Just empty it out. Tell the people to get the fuck out, and we're going to bomb that, and there won't be any casualties. No harm, no foul, basically. It appears that is indeed what Israel did. Israel has carried out a strike against Iran, U.S. officials tell CNN, as region braces for further escalation. Thankfully, both the Iranians and the Israelis do not appear to intend to escalate further. Israel has carried out a military strike inside Iran, a U.S. official told CNN Friday, a potentially dangerous escalation in a fast-widening Middle East conflict that Iranian government officials have so far sought to play down. They're both playing it down. This is why we should be optimistic. Again, this is no black pill zone. I do not believe that World War III is going to erupt at this time. The Israelis showed restraint, just as the Iranians ironically showed restraint as well. I mean, they bombed Israel, but 99% of their munitions were just shot out of the air. The U.S. was given advance notification, very telling, Thursday, of an intended Israeli strike in the coming days, but did not endorse the response, a second senior U.S. official said. Iran's air defense systems were activated in several locations after 3 explosions were heard close to a major military airbase near the Iranian city of Isfahan, state media reported early Friday morning. Iranian officials said air defenses intercepted 3 drones, and there were no reports of a missile attack. Ta-da! Netanyahu actually pulled it off. I mean, I'm almost surprised at this. He showed restraint. You get to attack Iran, which you kind of have to at that point. No casualties, no real damage or anything like that. And the Iranians get to blow a few drones out of the air, and everything goes back to being kosher. This is exactly how you avoid World War III. By the way, this is also a sign that Israel has gone rogue. And under normal circumstances, I would say that's a bad thing. Israel should pretty much pace the United States in foreign policy. But with the Biden administration being in there, actually, it's better that they just go rogue. It's better that they do their own thing. They're showing more restraint than the United States government arguably would actually impose on them. And so that should be worrisome. But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, Netanyahu, at the very least, he appears to be sane. Well, that's great. Maybe World War III will actually be averted. If Trump were president, I would say just pace the United States. With Biden as president, I would say fucking ignore him. The Iranians and the Israelis should both ignore the U.S. leadership, because there is none at the moment, and do their own thing. So thankfully, it looks like we have avoided World War III. Now, again, it's a no black pill zone. Fan Glord. I already read that one out. Lassevar, Sticks, everyone is talking about Israel and Iran fighting, but how do you feel about the U.S. attacking the country of Ligma? Yeah, Ligma balls, bitch. Ramon C. GTC. Hope you get better, General Sticks. I'm feeling perfectly fine at the moment. Actually, I'm feeling better than fine. I've got multiple reasons in my life right now to be on cloud nine, and it's going to be real difficult to bring me down. So I feel great, actually. And I get to go to the goat farm later. There's all sorts of cool shit cooking up in my life. Sassmaster531, how do you think identity politics ends? I can't help but think there is going to be a massive backlash too far in the other direction. I do worry about that, and actually I should probably explain that. I'm worried that the left wing using idpol is going to create a backlash that is 10,000 times more insane in the nativistic direction. I believe in populism and classical libertarianism, classical liberalism. I want everyone to get along. I want everyone to do their own thing. I want everyone to literally, it doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what you got dangling between your legs, anything else. I don't give a fuck. You should be left alone. Do your own thing. Hopefully you succeed. I wish you well. That's the life that I want to live. If everyone farmed more beets, then I think that it would be a better world, for example. What I'm worried about is that the idpol of the far left, with its authoritarianism, the very top-down complex they're creating, is going to be hijacked by a right-wing movement. And economically speaking, it won't even be right-wing. It'll be more like a Mussolini sort of thing. Economically speaking, it'll actually be left-wing, like fascism tends to be. And it'll just be more moralistic. It'll be even worse than commies. And I'm worried about that. Thankfully, I don't have to predict that at this moment. I'm hoping it doesn't happen for the sake of my republic. Senor Faces, another 10 billion Israel is back on the menu. It looks like meat's back on our menu, boys. Corto Maltese, you like board games, right? Check out a board game-like computer game called Shadow of Forbidden Gods. Cool game about infiltrating and corruption. Sounds like Stratego. Oh, Stratego is one of the goddamn greatest. I used to play that all the time as a kid. And I'm real fucking good at it, too. You do not want to challenge me to a Stratego game. Cop Lobo. Sticks, did you watch the video of Biden ordering food with the mayor at a Philly Wawa gas station yesterday? It looked completely staged and was one of the cringiest things I've ever seen. Yeah, I saw that footage. I will probably talk about that tomorrow. But then again, Biden the other day, I had to talk about it the other morning, was talking about how his uncle got eaten by cannibals when he washed ashore after a plane crash in Papua New Guinea. He's not exactly with it. He's that relative, so to speak. Fire down below. Rand criticized Johnson and Trump the other day while praising RFK. I wonder why Rand hasn't endorsed Trump yet, but McConnell has. Rand Paul has endorsed Trump. He is right to criticize him, however, if he supports that particular bill. Absolutely. I stand with Rand on that one. Just because I support Donald Trump and I will vote for him, there's nothing that can stop it at this time, does not mean that I'm not going to criticize him when he is wrong. The Grizzly, did you see that one county in Michigan defying the red flag laws here and says it's becoming a Second Amendment sanctuary defying all gun laws? Sounds pretty cool. DM me on Twitter. I'd love to talk about that. Realm Classic. Takes on localism, subsidiary nullification. I don't know exactly what those refer to. Nullification in the jury sense? I definitely agree with that. Jury nullification. Don't tell anyone you understand what that means. Vagnarvik Gaming. Happy birthday to myself. Lol, keep on clanking, Sticks. Okay, you get a shout out. Vagnarvik Gaming has grown a year older, and so you get a shout out. Absolutely. So yeah, in first news today, it looks like we've averted World War III, thanks to Benjamin Netanyahu of all people. Well, I mean, thanks. Means 10 million Americans won't get hit by a mushroom cloud. Sigil Stone, Morning Sticks, get Helldivers 2 when you get back to the US. If it doesn't run on your laptop, then get a new computer. so you can play with Bonehead and me. Yes, we've played and actually spoken. Interesting. Do you threaten to poop on each other? I think that my Alienware could probably handle that. Pablo Mil, the Houthis have been attacking shipping and duking it out with the French Navy. Very little news of it here, by the way. Have a great weekend. Clank. I've seen that, yeah. There's a bunch of, not only that, but Somali pirates are attacking vessels too. RJ, give me hummus on olives or give me death. We're going to be eating Habibis tonight. It's a Middle Eastern restaurant, Lebanese and Turkish, I think. Actually, that's only a couple of blocks away. And trust me, they've got some good food. They will load you up, by the way, with the side dishes. You don't have to worry about going hungry. Swamp Donkey. Israeli support under 40-year-olds in the U.S. is ruined. The young Christians don't support them. The leftists also don't support them. Also, Saudi Arabia is in a Cold War with Iran. Yeah, the Abraham Accords appear to have averted World War III. That and ironically enough, Netanyahu's own restraint, which is like tenuous at best. So we're hoping for that to continue. Sigilstone. Let's see if the IDF watches sticks and how much power he has over Israeli military policy. Tell Netanyahu to line up 10,000 tanks in the shape of a boner pointed at Tehran. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many tanks Israel has. I should look at the military sites. They literally, every year they compile how many tanks and subs and everything else that nations have. It's actually fascinating when you think about it. I like military history. Excessive Night. Hello from Arizona, where your opinion on the recent presidential polling tightening up more for Biden. Trump? Getting ready for potential shenanigans. Love your content, dude, and wish your family well. Thank you very much. I would say knock on a couple doors, harvest a couple ballots, register a couple people to vote. It would take one afternoon. If you and the people around you involve yourselves in that, it's stellar in nature. Sigil Stone. Of course we avoided World War III. Nothing ever happens. Fuse 32. Finally caught a live show. Clank. Thank you very much. Doc Holiday. I'm with you on bumblebees. They are cool, non-aggressive. They bumble around my fingers while I'm harvesting veggies, but we have fire ants in Mississippi. Oh, shit. They get bleach dumped down their mouths. I had an incident once. I'm going to tell everyone another personal story. When I was down in southern Texas in the Rio Grande Valley, I had my swim trunks in the closet at one point, right? And I didn't realize it, but fire ants thought that this was a good place to have a nest. And I didn't realize this. I couldn't see them, and I wasn't really paying attention. So we were going to go to the pool, right? And I pulled the swim trunks up. And all of a sudden, it felt like fire rising up my leg. And only by pure chance did my dick not get stung by a bunch of fire ants. That probably would have been a problem, actually. But I took them immediately off. I'm like, oh shit, because there's like hundreds of fire ants on my leg. I ran into the shower and I'm blasting with water and I'm scraping them off to keep them from stinging me and stuff like that. And I mean, they don't hurt terribly, but if you get stung hundreds and hundreds of times, you can have a reaction to that. And yeah. Thankfully, my dick did not get invaded by fire ants. That would have been a problem. Swamp Donkey. Donkey! Identity politics will never end. Race is not something that you can gloss over. Race and tribal politics will always dictate politics. All other groups play by these rules except Europeans. Sigil Stone. If you want to know if we threaten poopening, you're going to have to get the game and play with us. I will defeat you, just to be clear. I don't know anything about the game, but I don't know. I'm pretty good at competitive gaming, actually. Let's see. Send your faces. Sound community is dying. Repost if you like sounding. Do you mean urethral sounding? Because I can't get into that now. Sorry. Actually, pretty vanilla. Penis and vagina. That's all you need. Why would you need anything else? Cindy Drellick, are you back in the States? I am so busy in the nursing field, it's hard to keep up with you. I'm guessing you're in the Netherlands. I'm happy when you're happy, wherever you are, Sticks. Yes, I'm currently in the Netherlands. I'll be back in the United States in less than a week, actually. Got to do a lot of gardening. Probably the first day that I'm back, I'm not going to do anything other than that. I'm probably not going to make even my morning videos just for a single day. So, bear with me. I'm allowed to have a day off once in a while. Lusty Corner, Trudeau has proposed a 67% capital gains tax. Apparently 50% isn't enough. Yeah, great for investors in Canada. They'll love it. Dodger 12, Rip Dickie Betts. Don't know who that is. It might be a joke. I'm not 100% sure. It's Kenreza. Is it possible to do a Styx investigation stream, such as you researching something or maybe a long-form video of you doing deep diving occult topics? I would actually love to do that with some of the true crime stuff out there, like D.B. Cooper, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe the missing 401 stuff. I'd love to do that, actually. When I get my break, and I believe that it is coming, by the way, inevitably in the coming months, yeah, I probably will do more long-form content. It'll be interesting. Today, I've just got to go to the goat farm and eat weird Arabic food. Ishmaster, morning clankers. I'm currently trucking back home in Florida to play some Tekken 8. Congratulations. Andrew Van Halen. Have you seen the video I sent to your messenger on Twitter? I'm not 100% sure. My apologies. I'll look through my DMs. Probably I did, but I can't respond to everything live because there's too many messages. I wake up and I've got 30 messages normally in a day, so it's a little bit difficult to sort them out. BDan82, Styx does not need any more damn gaming laptops. True, this one has a new battery and everything, so I'm going to keep it going as long as I possibly can. Joel Castillo, you should try Ace Combat 7 when you get the chance. It's a flight simulator with beautiful music and amazing dogfighting and decent story. Oh, I would love to play a dogfighting game with some clankers. Going up there and strafing you down with a machine gun. Yeah, I could get into that sort of thing. I don't really have time to game very much, but if I was going to do it, yeah, a dogfighting game, that sounds down my alley. Billdozer74 talked about the Israel strike. It was happening last night on my first live stream on Rumble. Had a blast. Check out my channel here at Billdozer74. So he's got a shout out there. Siddlestone, Helldivers 2 is a PvE game, team-based, not competitive. You're not supposed to shoot each other unless it's funny. Well, I mean, I would blow your head off just for the shits and giggles. You should have seen me in Minecraft back in the day. I would build great things for other people, and then I would just randomly slaughter them. Anyways, we got to talk about more news, even though it's fun to just bant about games and random things. Impeachment whistleblower was in the loop of Biden-Ukraine affairs that Trump wanted probed. Oh, interesting. I could never have possibly guessed that this would be the case. This is from a couple days ago. The whistleblower who sparked Donald Trump's first impeachment was deeply involved in the political maneuverings behind Biden family business schemes in Ukraine that Trump wanted probed. Newly obtained emails from former Vice President Joe Biden's office reveal. In 2019, then National Intelligence Council analyst Eric Ciaramella, who you could not even talk about at the time, by the way, when the original revelations broke. You literally get banned. If you even mentioned his name on Twitter or YouTube, you got fucking banned. We're allowed to talk about him now. Touched off a political firestorm when he anonymously accused Trump of linking military aid for Ukraine to a demand for an investigation into alleged Biden corruption in that country. At the time, it seemed like Trump was being corrupt. Oh my God, he's going after a political opponent, right? Then we get the Hunter Biden laptop revelations and we realized, oh shit, there was probably a reason for the attempted probe. But 4 years earlier, while working as a national security analyst attached to then Vice President Joe Biden's office, Ciaramella was a close advisor when Biden threatened to cut off U.S. aid to Ukraine unless it fired its top prosecutor. Victor Shokin, you probably remember that name, some of you do, who was investigating Ukraine-based Burisma Holdings. At the time, the corruption-riddled energy giant was paying Biden's son Hunter millions of dollars. Yeah, he was getting 6 figures a month. Man, I wish that somebody who was corrupt would give me that kind of money. I would probably just sell out at that point. I work for a couple of years, then I retire. Okay, that works. I'm still going to push new tech and stuff like that, but take one for the team. Those payments, I'm just joking, by the way, along with other evidence tying Joe Biden to his family's business dealings, received little attention in 2019 as Ciaramella accused Trump of a corrupt quid pro quo. Neither did subsequent evidence indicating that Hunter Biden's associates had identified Shokin as a key target. These matters are now part of the House impeachment inquiry into President Biden, which will fucking fail because the fucking Republicans are the fucking ones doing it. So don't even bother caring about that. The Republicans will fail, as they always do. Trump may succeed. People like Rand Paul and Thomas Massie, a handful of Lauren Boebert, those people are successful. Most Republicans are a bunch of fucking goddamn losers, honestly. So yeah, Victor Shokin, Burisma, Hunter Biden, that whole entire nexus has been cracked wide open yet again. Let's see. Sigil Stone. Oh no, that's the one I just read out. Never mind. I was going to give you a free readout, but you have to pay me more money if you want that. Winter Walker. Sticks, I love when you talk about the Rio Grande Valley. I grew up in McAllen. I've been there. I went shopping there. I live in New Hampshire now, and God, do I miss the food. That's very mimetic. I was born in New Hampshire. And yeah, I lived in the Rio Grande Valley for several months. It was really great. Honestly, I loved it. Really scenic. Flat as a board, but I mean, there's a lot to see there. A lot of shopping mall culture. Sort of like the Valley Girl thing. Not that Valley Girls are a bad thing, of course. Sparky, greetings, fearless leader. Dickie Betts was a guitarist in the Allman Brothers band. Oh, that sucks. Didn't one of their other members die last year? I thought that they did. Huh. I like the Allman Brothers. Free Golem. Sticks, a friend of mine is building a garden and is trying to figure out how to keep pests out. She's thinking traps. Any suggestions? A good fence. For medium-sized animals, a good 4-foot fence will do it. There are always repellents. You know, you can use wolf urine. That'll keep a lot of the vegetarian animals out because they won't dare to get near it. Or you could just buy a dog or something like that. Hook the fence up, have a little dog shed, and the dog can protect it. And probably worth it price-wise, too. Conqueertador, quit drinking, lost 70 pounds, have 4 kids and homeschooling them all, home gardening and hunting. Good on you, my dude. Congratulations. That's exactly what I want to see from the Clankers. Drop 1 vice, gain 1 skill, marginally benefit yourself in life. That's all you need to do. You'll always be ahead of your contemporaries simply by doing that. There will never be any black pills from this channel. And trust me, there are times when I feel a little bit on the black pilled side. You know what I do? I work through it. I do workaholic mode, and it works. You know, when you like your job, it's a little bit easier, admittedly. BW, only problem with Trump is once he's gone, all gains for Republicans will go away since the people who will have gained won't show up unless Trump is on the ballot. Disagreed. I think it depends on who is on the ballot after Trump. If it's like a Rand Paul, a Thomas Massie, someone like that, I can see it working. It could be like Eric Trump or even Don Jr. It could be a dynastic thing. I'm uncomfortable with that, but if it's within the Trump family, I would give them a chance. I mean, if they fuck up, then I'm going to vote against them after they try to win re-election. But I'd be willing to give them a chance, I suppose. But I don't like dynastic politics. Doc Holliday. Do you get to keep more of a Rumble rant than a ScrewTube Super Chat? Have a great weekend. Yes, indeed. The ratio is higher on Rumble than it is on YouTube. I don't even know what the ratio is. I just know that I get about $100 a day simply existing on Rumble because of the ad revenue. And I don't even know if that's shared out across all videos or something. I like Rumble. You can probably tell. Officer Void, Tommy Parkey, Rummeltroplease at team. I don't know what that means. King of Biltong, good morning from Anton's Meat and Eat. Free shipping for your Biltong using code STICKS on www.biltongusa.com and www.antonsusa.com. All orders placed today through Monday will receive a free gift. Hashtag Clank Nation. Oh, fuck. Maybe I should make an order. You should eat the biltong. Just try it. Just a mouthful. I guarantee you'll have many more mouthfuls afterwards because the Angus, the Carbonasi, the Wagyu, it doesn't matter what you get. It's fucking delicious. Pumpkin Fire Crafts. Good morning, Clankers. Adding some cool artwork this weekend, so keep your eyes out. Yes, indeed. I should do the merch links. Just a second, because I've got a couple more super chats, I believe, over here. Turd Fergberg. What are your thoughts on Javier Milei applying for NATO? Some are seeing it as a betrayal. I don't have a fucking care if NATO expands. It's a defensive alliance. I know that it's fashionable for some people to pretend that it's an offensive alliance, but I don't have a problem with that. I think Argentina is already in a military alliance with the U.S. anyway, if I remember correctly, so it doesn't make any difference. Portland Schrainhorn. Not all Portlanders are bad. Yeah, just 80% of them. It's the same with Vermonters. We're not all a bunch of far-left hippies. You do realize that. There are people like myself in the state of Vermont. One day at a time. Quit weed on Thanksgiving. Learning Spanish. Thank you. Sounds good. Although I wouldn't mind a bowl once in a while if I could still smoke it. And at least it's 0 cal and stuff. Yeah, I mean, if you're learning a new language, that's pretty cool. The Swamp Cleaner. Sticks, you always find a way to turn black pills into gray or scarlet pills. Not many others have that ability to find the positive in everything. Trust me, again, I've got personal reasons right now to be on cloud 9. And I mean, I have for a long time anyway, but now I've got several more superlative reasons. It would be pretty difficult to bring me down right now. Yeah, just saying. Ain't that great? And I want to bring all of you up as well. Drop of ice, gain 1 new skill. That's all you have to do. So maybe you've got like you drink, you smoke weed, tobacco, whatever. Drop 1 of them, just 1. You have some sort of latent skill. You like to, on the side, you strum your guitar. Maybe you like to grow things or something, but you haven't really dedicated yourself. Just hone 1 of those skills. That's all I ask of every single one of you. And it's partially for self-serving reasons, by the way. If my clankers succeed, well, then I tend to get more donations because people have more money. I literally want all of you to become rich. That's basically my pitch. I think it makes sense. I don't know. I don't see the problem with this. Sir Link, hi Sticks, my other message won't send. My apologies. I didn't see another message by you. My apologies. It's YouTube being YouTube, Christian Garabadian. Hey, Sticks, I'm a small business owner in Florida. I hope Trump is victorious, but my fear is that they will unalive him if they sense he will lose, and if that happens, all heck will let loose. They might try. Thankfully, he has his own private security and a shit ton of dedicated fans that would take a bullet for him. Cindy Drellick, Dickel Betts was co-founder. His son, Dwayne, formed the Allman Betts Brothers Band with Devin Allman, Greg Allman's son. They're carrying on the music of their dads, and they create their own. They're really fantastic. I'll have to look into that, actually. Yeah, I think I have a vinyl of the Allman Brothers, like one of their big albums from back in like the late 70s or something like that. My mom, I think, gave one to me. I think. Yeah, I have a vinyl of theirs. Sparky, NATO's a defensive alliance. What about their destruction of Libya? That was not generally NATO. That was Hillary Clinton more than anybody else. There's a good reason that we defeated her. Holden Sneedmeyer. Watching Javier Milei kiss the wall in Israel before proceeding to cry is a bit disappointing. Oh, well, I don't care. It's politicians being politicians. Sir Link, YouTube is censoring my comments. Not edgy at all. I mean, I would tell you how to get past their censorship, but I don't know what the comment is because I can't see it for obvious reasons. There's always a way around it, though. We need to get to our merch links, by the way. We have pumpkinfirecrafts.us, where you can get belt chains, keychains, amulets, bookmarks, and much more. Also engraved spoons. We have BiltongUSA.com. Again, use code STICKS for free shipping, where you can get delicious meat. Highly recommended, especially the carbonaci. Although it's all good, so it doesn't really matter what you buy. Just, buy whatever you want. Also, Stick, Sex, and Hammer mugs, tumblers, and shirts. Wicked Needle Embroidery.bigcartel.com, where you can get several styles of Stick, Sex, and Hammer hats. Again, I believe use code STICKS at checkout there as well. There's the one that's centralized with the Ouroboros here, and then there's the one with an offset. I think the latter is the one that more people liked, but they're both available, so, you can get a nice hat. We have HeritageHeirloomSeedCompany.com, where you can get seed survival buckets, as well as very, very good soap. Again, I don't push anything that I don't personally use. The soap there is definitely a cut above. It's definitely worth the price. And there's a Stick, Sex, and Hammer soap that'll be available, I think, fairly soon, actually. That one's with cedar, clove, and blueberry, which is my favorite flavor combination. You should definitely wash with it. You'll smell like Stick, Sex, and Hammer. What's to lose? And it's also a hand wrapped as well. I mean, they make it really fancy and everything else. There's a Stick, Sex, and Hammer a box, actually, I think available now. So it's a great thing. We have websterswears.com/sticks-wares, where you can get Stick, Sex, and Hammer wares, fairly obviously. If you go to the main site, you can also get Trump stuff and miscellanea. They've got some like survival lighters. There's Trump flags, the Trump hats. It's quite a wide selection, actually. It's a little mini market online, and like them a lot. Jamandbean.com. That is JAMBean.com, where you can get delicious coffee and delicious tea. I mean, in this weather, probably the latter is more applicable, but the Costa Rica blend coffee is absolutely spectacular. I don't think you're going to be able to find another coffee where when you open the bag, and you give it that first sniff, because you have to. Everyone knows that. It smells like heaven, actually. And it hits hard. It's pretty caffeinated. So I'm very glad about that, because sometimes, you need that extra buzz in order to keep yourself going, in order to keep yourself from being wasted bonehead and having to sleep in a grave. And then finally, we've also got mtpew.com, mtpew.com, where you can get ammunition, 9mm, 5.56, 223. I think there's 45, and I think they've got 40 Smith & Wesson as well. And they've got new ammunition and also refurbished like range brass that they refill. And high quality, really well made. I was very, very happy with the little package that I was sent by MTPew. And so I'll probably be ordering a little bit more from them in the near future. So yeah, those are our merch partners. Ain't that great? Sir Link, it was going to be about the Trump case. That's his censored comment. My apologies, but, probably they're censoring anything about Trump or something like that. It wouldn't surprise me in the least. You look at them going after Timcast the other day, striking down a couple of his videos, a year, like year-old of interviews and stuff like that because of a retroactive policy change. They've done this time and time again, and it pisses me the shit off. I have to go back like on a regular basis and look at their new TOS and stuff, and I have to search through my back videos and search for certain terms and say, okay, well, these 13 videos I can't have on here anymore. It's like, aren't you going to have a retroactive policy where a video that was uploaded like maybe at least a year ago or something, you don't have to remove it? Like, you can remove the video if you want, but don't give a person a strike for it. It doesn't make any sense. SP Elite, Sticks, what does your wife refer to you as? Does she call you Sticks, Tarl, Stixy, Stixums, Stixpoo? I am Tarl. Corto Maltese, but I don't want to stop smoking. I love smoking. If it's weed, I give you my blessing. It's not really a problem. Disclaimer, I'm not telling anyone to smoke marijuana, but it's 0 cal. If it's just marijuana, it's not really a problem, in all honesty. Yes, you can still get lung cancer or something from it in the amount that the average person smokes, though. They take a couple of hits. Is it really a problem? No, I think that tobacco is more of a problem, actually, because you have to smoke more of it. David Hunter, have you ever done an occult on Buddhism's Yogacara or Vijnavada? An idea that your mindset will dictate outcomes and manifest what you focus on or desire. I've alluded to it before. I'm not familiar with the second term, but I am with Yogacara. I've talked about a SHIB, which is meditation upon death, upon the decomposition process. That's more, it's partially Buddhistic, partially Hinduism. It is sort of, it's both. I am familiar with that. I also like the concept of sadhana, actually. Willfully subjecting yourself to something that is, if not tormentous or torturous in nature, potentially unpleasant in order to gain some sort of karmic enlightenment. I am studied in the Eastern paths. I don't necessarily agree with all of their tenets, though. Greg Joseph, could someone that is under house arrest be given asylum? Apparently, that's what happened in the Mexican embassy in Ecuador. Thoughts? Yeah, they raided, I talked about this last week, they raided the Mexican embassy down there in Mexico, withdrew all diplomatic support for Ecuador over this. One of the opposition leaders, outgoing, was in the Mexican embassy and they raided it. Yes, I believe that asylum can be granted under such circumstances. And Ecuador is really going to suffer for that one. They'll be lucky if the Mexicans don't fucking bomb them or something. Holden Snedmeyer, Shapiro, oh God, has been neoconning with the Ukraine funding recently. Kiev will fall. No refunds for BlackRock's deal with Zelensky. Love you, Tarl. Thank you very much. I don't think Kiev will fall. I think this war will be fought to a stalemate and eventually diplomacy will take place. We're going to need to re-elect Trump to ensure that that happens. Biden is not going to be able to broker it. He's too weak. He can't fucking do that shit. Sir Link, read the comment directly underneath this. It isn't censored in the normal chat. Only supers. Yes, but I'm on... just a sec. I'll get to it. Where's your chat? No, I don't see another chat by you. That's the problem. It's still censored. My apologies. Also, you got to keep in mind, I use StreamYard, so I generally keep it on the starred chat. So that's like the actual super chats. So I don't necessarily see all of the regular chats that come through. I wish I could respond to everyone, but when you've got this many people and you get 5,000 people watching you, it becomes a little bit difficult. I have to prioritize. I don't have a choice. Sparky, this year I planted varieties of tomatoes proven to do well down south. The last few years, I wasted too much time on experimental ones, which are still many generations away from working anywhere. I've got, how many tomato plants do we have started? In the office, there's 5 grow lamps at this point, by the way. I think there's 5 cherry tomatoes, 2 Roma tomatoes, and I think there's a couple more of a different variety. So it'll be about 9 plants or something like that. You can plant them directly outside, but I wanted to start them inside. It's cheaper, it's easier, and it's fun. You know, when you have your office with 5 grow lamps, a heat lamp, and, you're humidifying things by watering the plants several times a day, oh, it's comfy in there. Oh, God, I love it. SB Elite, Trump stock with black people if he beats the case. Oh, it's not about that. He's getting ahead with black voters because he's getting ahead with all voters. Now, people are realizing he's not actually a racist. He doesn't care. He'll take your money whether you're black or white. That's Donald Trump. BW, I wish we could get a bunch of conservatives from California, Vermont, Oregon, and other hopelessly blue states in Canada to move to Georgia, Texas, etc. This would strengthen red states and save the U.S. I would prefer to focus on New Hampshire and Maine because they have lower populations. If we could overrun just those 2 states, it would make a huge difference. The unintended, who hates upward mobility more, Democrats, Republicans, or do all government officials hate it equally, and why? It's not about partisan politics. You have to, don't think about the Democrats and the Republicans as separate. They're the same thing. Think about it as centralists, unipartyists, authoritarians versus populist / libertarian, classical liberal, everyone else. So think about it as 1% versus 99%. Oddly, the leftoids are fundamentally correct on this issue. The people that are in the party which is the Uniparty, Republican and Democrat. So the Bushes and the Obamas, the Clintons and the Herbert Walkers. These people all fundamentally do not want a lot of upward mobility. That's why they freaked out about crypto. There were people that were minted as billionaires because they bought a bunch of Bitcoin back in the day. I wish I had. I did have the opportunity of dropping about $200 or so on Bitcoin when it was about 5 cents a piece. Of course, I don't rue it at all, even though I could have become a multi-millionaire, because I probably would have sold it off when it was like $100 a piece and paid off my student loans or something. Still would have made out like a bandit, but I wouldn't have been rich. I was too young. There's no way that I would have had the kind of fiscal foresight that I have now. Keep in mind, it's not about party. Don't even listen to party. Fuck the Republicans. Fuck the Democrats. Fuck the Libertarians. Fuck the Greens. Fuck the Whigs. Fuck all of these people. Party means absolutely goddamn nothing. Mitch McConnell's cocaine yacht was servicing more than just people with R's after their name, in other words. Madison Cawthorn tried to warn people about that. It's a big party and you're not part of it. And they were inviting him to cocaine orgies and shit. Now they've, I guess, framed him for hitting a state trooper or something. Sigil Stone, I got a hold of an Iron Dome interception launcher and missiles. These suckers work against Santa Claus. Let's see how difficult it really is to bring you down. Yeah, no, Iron Dome actually is pretty impressive. I mean, you got to give him credit. 99% interception rate or close to that. I mean, I know part of that was in partnership with the U.S., the U.K., and the Jordanians. But still, to intercept that many missiles and that many drone strikes in such a short time is actually pretty goddamn impressive. And I think part of that was the point. Virgil Shadow finally caught you live. Wanted to recommend a game called Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon. The gameplay takes influences from Elder Scrolls set in a dark fantasy of Arthurian legend. Game's $30. Sounds pretty cool. Fuse 32. Speaking of bettering oneself, your videos have helped me find my way out of a very dark place. Now I'm doing better than ever. That's what I'm fucking talking about, my dude. Keep it up. I believe in you. There are thousands of other people out there that believe in you too. You don't even understand your own strength. Most of the time, people hold themselves... Fuck these news stories, by the way. Most of the time, people hold themselves back by simply saying, I don't think I can do it. And so they don't try. That's the biggest stumbling block to success. People holding themselves back. They don't believe in themselves. So they never try. Well, if you don't try, then there's no way that you can possibly do it. You can sit around all day and you can wait for your break, or you can try to get it yourself. That's the long and short of it. Build a skill, drop a vice, just fucking do it. I hate to be cliche. I mean, in the sense of what the fuck was his name? That dude that 4chan chased down multiple times looking at literally contrails from jets at several points. What was his name? And he was like, just do it. I can't remember his fucking name. He's been forgotten for a reason. But yeah, I mean, just try. You may not succeed. You may be unsuccessful. But at the very least, you've given yourself a boost. You've given yourself more of a chance than you had before. And you'll always maintain that. Once you've gained that skill or dropped that vice, you've always got a better chance to succeed than you ever had before. It's sort of like, we send kids to school, right? We educate them in hopes that they'll be able to find a job and have a life and so forth. But your education doesn't need to stop with school. You can educate yourself. You can get all sorts of cool books off the internet for cheap, and then you can read them and you can memorize things and at the very least be a better conversationalist. Maybe military history, maybe it's botany or something like that. Like my grandfather helped me to learn how to grow things. I had to learn a lot of it myself, though. I took that initiative. Well, you can grow fucking $10,000 worth of vegetables on a pretty small amount of property. It's not that difficult. Swamp Donkey. Donkey, if the swamp tries to JFK him and fails, does Trump go full gloves off? I think that he would at that point. I don't see how he can't get at that point. Do you think it would get spicy? I think it'll be spicy regardless. I don't think there's any... I don't think there's any possibility of him going there not acting like a raped ape. By the way, please send no more super chats. I'm not even going to get to the rest of the news. I just wanted to bant and encourage people. Again, live your full life, be your best, drop a vice, grab one more skill, really hone it out. One of you will become a billionaire or something, and then you'll remember me. And I'm semi-joking. Doc Holiday, do you grow many peppers? Oh, yes. I grow bells, jalapenos, poblano, and lunchbox peppers. Poblano are great for stuffing and frying or baking. I have several poblanos and a bunch of sweet peppers, and I'm going to be getting a really hot pepper. Actually, I'll get that one at Home Depot. They usually have Trinidad scorpions, and I want my dad to eat one raw and see what his reaction is. Sigil Stone, link in the description, archived, of course. Official Clanker life advice, smoke wheat every day. Wasted Bonehead, good morning from the grave. I see Stonehead is here. Yeah, we've got our usual sibling rivalry, our two Clanker siblings. Sigil Stone, my worst habit is procrastinating, but my biggest stumbling block is this big block I keep stumbling over. I need to remove it. I'll do that tomorrow. Sounds good. Thule, hey, Mr. Sticks, I'm growing bottle gourds for the first time this year. I want all natural water bottles. Any tips? If you have eaves on your home, you can always set up like a rain barrel sort of thing, like a steel rain barrel. I don't know. You can't really get natural bottled water. It's all going to have microplastics in it. And by the way, there was a study the other day that they just released. Did anyone see this? That apparently it can penetrate brain tissue, the microplastics that are in the bottled water and shit that people are eating. I'm glad we have a well in Rutland. Apparently, I'll be the only person without Alzheimer's on the block at some point. Really concerning. Like, as in, like, nuclear war level concerning, because apparently that's really fucking bad. Corto Maltese, nope, hate weed. I smoke cigarettes, no filter, straight inhale, black and mild specifically, even included in spooky mystical rituals and prayer. Well, each to their own. While I would encourage you to quit smoking, you know, everyone has at least one vice. I don't think that people should be faulted for having one thing that they do to just let loose. One or two. I just think that people should try to self-improve. I mean, like, let's say, you know, you drink a little bit too much beer. Okay, that's perfectly forgivable. It might kill you. It might be a problem. You're spending money on it. Okay, everyone has something that they have to do. Maybe you know, you're a whore, basically. You know, you fuck too many people or something like that. There's nothing wrong with that. Sparky, I went mostly with red Florida Everglades tomatoes, yellow Florida Everglades tomatoes, and Parks Improved Whopper tomatoes. I think the only other tomato I might put in is the Cherokee Purple, actually, the old heirloom variety, because they look cool. RZ, the legend. Sometimes conventional wisdom is conventional for a reason. I'm your friendly neighborhood NPC. Dan Malone, 53. Weaponize shame to extort the mentally ill. What's your thoughts? I don't want to extort anyone. Sparky, Sticks, Iran told Israel et al. About their attack, sent their second-rate old and slow drones and missiles, and baited Israel et al. Into wasting their defenses while destroying enough to prove themselves. Well, Iran didn't really destroy anything. And that's the good part. Iran didn't cause any human casualties. Yes, it was obviously the antagonism was not meant to do like widespread damage. This is a good thing. It shows restraint on the behalf of Iran. Israel's response likewise shows restraint. I'm very glad for this because if the two of them really wanted to escalate things, we'd probably all die. You know, Amsterdam would probably be on the hit list for nuclear weapons. Rutland wouldn't, but I happen to be not there right now. And a follow-up. I grow Carolina Reaper peppers. Home Depot has them down here. Yes, they have those ghost peppers and the Trinidad scorpions at the local Home Depot. They'll be there by the time I get back. I'm going to get just one really hot pepper. The other ones I've got like, again, 2 or 3 poblanos and then some sweet peppers. I really do like them. BW, my cat loves plastic. What do yours like that's weird? Farah, is a really picky eater and actually doesn't like to play with a lot of things. She likes insects more than anything else. Like if a fly shows up, she'll stare at it and her eyes will follow it around constantly. Wasted bonehead. No more super chats. Fine, but I'm bragging about my microplastic soup. Well, I mean, you're dead to begin with, so, you can't get cancer. Anyways, Bernie Sanders has sold out again. He made an address about needing to elect Joe Biden. We have to defend against Donald Trump, and so he's not going to run for office again. By the way, that's my prediction. We've got a one and done vaccine, test vaccine that might be able to actually ward off multiple diseases at the same time, because it's a different. You can links in the description. I'm not going to be able to go over that because we're already on 55 minutes. And then one real quick aside that I wanted to make. All Florida K through 12 students to learn about the atrocities of communism. Let me give some nuance here. First, ideological. I support the concept. DeSantis is doing the right thing by passing this through. And I do believe it's a good idea, but there is one caveat to that, and I'll get into that. People should learn that communism is the bloodiest ideology that has ever plagued the world. And it is. And people used to learn about that back in the 50s and 60s. Some of you who are older, you got classes in school. Well, you're communist. We'll do this, that, and the other thing. You're communist will try to infiltrate your mind and try to turn you against the United States of America. And the thing is, like, we look at it as campy or being like over the top, but it's, fundamentally true. I agree with that. Here's my problem with the specific proposal, though. The specific proposal is going to make teachers teach students about the evils of communism. There are two problems with this. The first is that a lot of teachers are left-leaning because they have a bureaucratic job, which is reliant on centralized government. So that becomes an issue. And and this only applies to public schools. It doesn't apply to the private ones that already teach students that. The second problem is what happens when the teacher tells you something that is not objective. So 2 + 2 = 4, that's objective. It's a very concrete thing. Here's what the Golgi apparatus does. It's very objective. There's no arguing with it. When a teacher tells you something that is up for interpretation, what generally happens among the students? Well, they rebel because they're teenagers, especially when you're talking about the latter age, like, 7th, 8th, 9th grade, somewhere around there, the sweet spot when people are going through puberty. If you tell them that communism is bad, what are they likely to do? They're likely to say, well, the lame-ass teacher here says communism is bad. Well, communism, yeah, maybe I should look into it. Maybe it's pretty cool. Unless you're hot for teacher and you happen to have that particular teacher that you're getting that from. There's only one at Mill River, happened to stereotypically be the French teacher. She was probably like 26 years old or something at the time. So there wasn't a lot of political chat going on. Yeah, she was pretty hot. Just saying. Sparky, your dependence on legacy media is showing. No, my dependence on my own judgment is showing. I know we have differences of opinion sometime. That's perfectly okay. Yes, please send no more super chats. I think I have a couple more to go through. Sigilstone, sorry, Sticks, but I think Freedom Tunes Bernie is better. Are you questioning my Bernie Sanders impression? Maximoto, Shia LaBeouf. Yes, no idea on spelling. I have no clue. Shia LaBeouf or LaBeef. Who gives a shit? He's been completely forgotten. Think about it this way. Your career's heyday is literally being chased around by a bunch of 4chan shitlords. Oh, man, that was great. Trip Boom. Fuck the commie and boys and girls. We have to teach our kids, not just teachers. But yeah, anyway. Oh, Tigers are my totem. Send another $5. No comment. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. At this point, public school in a lot of states is probably not a great idea. Now, if you have the ability, homeschooling / tutoring / private schooling is probably a better idea at this point in a lot of states. Vermont does it a little bit better. Yes, it's a woke state, but the schools are still generally good. But there are states out there that are woke and the schools aren't so good. And in that case, if you have the ability, it would be better to homeschool or something like that. I mean, that's just my opinion. But anyways, I'm going to go offline. TGIF. I will not be online. Oh, shit. Sparky, we learned about how different ideologies can lead to totalitarianism back in the 70s. It covered communism too. Yeah, they used to teach students about that nuance and say, look, it's a highly centralistic ideology, very top down by design. Left-wing economics by design have to be authoritarian, and authoritarian systems by design have to be left-leaning, at least in the economic sense. I've explained that before. Some people still think there's such a thing as a left-leaning libertarian. Sorry, but there's not. They cannot physically exist. Basically, you mean a libertarian that likes weed a little bit too much. Nothing more. And Sigilstone. Better Van Halen, David Lee Roth, or Sammy Hagar? Sammy Hagar. Anyways, I'm going to go offline. I thank you all for arriving here to the almost 6,000 people that were tuning in live, actually. And I will be live again on Monday, unless there's a nuclear war, of course. And yeah, it'll be a fun time. We'll talk about the news. I'll take some more super chats. God, there were 56 of them just on YouTube today. Feel like I got extra attention, actually. Got to go to the goat farm, to the Kinderborderei with my daughter, and then we're going to have a nice dinner out because I'm fucking starving. That's about all. Peace out.